listen, I started to say that I love social media. I think I used to love social media, but lately I'm more focused on it being a tool than a distraction or an obsession. And I started realizing that so many little things we do with social media could be giving access to our enemies and the enemy. What do I mean by that? Okay, so I joined a few Facebook groups for women just to have some interaction and conversation, even if it's just online, because I'm real sensitive about who I actually go out and hang out with and let into my physical space, because I'm very spiritually sensitive. And I used to say that I don't like people, but I've come to realize that I don't like their demons, and that's not the same thing, but that's a conversation for another day. So in these groups, I notice that some of the posts that are being posted, some of the posts that I was gravitating towards were posts that ask basically for an inside look in your life under the guise of just harmless chit chat. And I don't want to say that is all a guise, because I think some of it is very genuine, but I also think that some of it is masked as harmless fun and chit chat to try to get an inside look into your life personally. Like, some of the questions would be like, what's something that your spouse does to make you smile? What's something that you do to make your spouse's day? How do you and your spouse spend time together? How do you spend your whole day from sunrise to bedtime as a homeschool mom or a work from home mom? What are places that you and your spouse like to go and things that y'all like to do together? What are things that, maybe keep the spark in your marriage or your relationship, or ways that you, I guess, keep your house clean? What are some things that you bring into your house to balance the energy and all this kind of stuff? And on the surface, this sounds really cute. But for those of you who have a divine calling on your life, and especially those of you who are breaking spiritual systems off of your bloodline, and you found your way out of traumatic, toxic, occultic family dynamics, and you've left behind all the people you think could hurt you or try to draw you back into that world, and you're still wondering how they're getting information on you, it's because monitoring spirits are real and you feed them every day. Every time you decide to comment on someone's post, or you post something publicly or with a friends list that has spies that you know nothing about, every time you comment on these group posts and you have no idea that the people that know you are lurking in these 5,000 plus membership groups behind a sticker profile pic and a cute made up name, waiting for you to comment or post something that they can run with. Every time you talk to that cousin or that coworker that's still connected to the people you broke away from because you think they're loyal to you and have been supporting you, they've also been loyal to the family system or the religious system or the demonic system that's doing everything in its power to keep tabs on you, to know exactly where to attack you. Stop it. Okay, I need you to get in your prayer closet and get some discernment about yourself, and stop being so afraid to be alone and have nobody to talk to. Talk to God. Okay, He's the only one who's going to keep your secrets anyway. Stop being so afraid that the same people you escape from are talking about you being alone and lonely, because what they're really talking about is how to get next to you. What they're really talking about is how to get back in your ear, how to get back in your good graces, what kind of performance they need to bring to you to get you to give them access to you again, so they can further distract you and strip you of the destiny they know God has for you, that they've seen on you since your childhood, that they've been trying to bury or steal or snuff out of you so you wouldn't get bigger than them, or so that you wouldn't tear down the altars of molestation and poverty and death that they've been secretly holding up. Why do you think the men in your family die around the same age from the same thing? Why do you think all the women have kids but no husbands, or husbands but no kids? Why do you think there's only a certain group of rich aunties and uncles that have all of the wealth in the family? It's because those altars are still in play. Those altars are still in power. And the people that are in power get to keep their power as long as they keep you distracted and manipulated and living less than the life, less than the destiny that God has for you. And I need you to stop. And I'm trying to calm down, but I'm for real mad right now because the days are getting shorter. And I feel like this is the second time this week that I've said that. And I'm really not the kind of prophetic voice that be like, Jesus is coming back soon. We need to get our house in order or whatever. But the days are getting shorter. And what I mean by that is your time to obey God is running out because He told you to do something. He gave you the answer to a very specific prayer that you prayed, and you out here playing games because you're scared to be alone or be outcast or talked about or whatever, and you're allowing yourself to stay stuck in toxic loyalty to people who really don't care nothing about you for real. They say they love you and they're loyal to you and they know how to perform love to you, but their love for you and this loyalty that they say they have for you, they really don't have the capacity to love you beyond the benefit that you give to their life, and they are draining you of the mere energy that you need to simply be obedient to God in that thing He called you to do, that thing He told you with Ephesians 3:20, your life, because you too busy worrying about what they think about you, what they feel about you. Don't piss me off, okay? And I know some of y'all gonna say that's not a godly thing to say, and it might not be, but I mean what I say because we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood with an assignment from heaven, and we out here playing social media games because we're afraid to be alone. We're afraid to be the curse breaker, the chain breaker. We want to be it. It sounds really good and it's trendy right now, but there's a cost, and we really don't want to pay the cost that we have to. Being alone ain't that bad. It won't be for forever. It will be just enough time for God to mold you and mature you and get you where He needs you to be to do the thing that is going to change your life, the thing that you've been asking for, that He's given to you. He's given the instructions, maybe not the full instructions because, God be doing that sometimes, but He's giving you the steps to start taking to get there. And we playing patty cake in Facebook groups. Matthew 11:12 says that since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom suffers violence and the violent take it by force. The Passion Translation says that heaven's kingdom is bursting forth and passionate people have taken hold of its power. But you don't have enough passion or even a holy violent bone in your body to be able to access the power that's already yours because you're so busy trying to be nice to devils that you can't see the forest for the trees, as my daddy would say. The devil is playing in your face and tap dancing on your destiny, and you are letting him because society says to play nice and talk soft and move quietly so you don't offend anybody with your witness because their worldly, punkish version of Christianity says that's how you should respond. Meanwhile, there are people waiting for the authentic version of you to show up and show out the way God made you to be and the way He told you to do it so that they can be saved, so that they can be healed, so they can grab hold of the life God has for them because your testimony is meant to set them free for God so that they can get where they're supposed to be. You are off your square, you're off your assignment, and you are out of order. And this is no judgment and no shade because I was almost doing the same thing and I couldn't figure out why I kept going back to these Facebook groups but not commenting, going back and feeling like who's going to see my answer and what are they going to do with it. And before you try and come for me and say that that's fear, that's not fear. That's discernment. Because how are you going to pray over your marriage, pray over your job, pray over your kids, pray over your womb, pray over your peace of mind, and then go on social media and private groups full of folk you don't know, assuming that it's a safe space just to give them all the information they need to pray against all the things that you just prayed for? And I get it. Okay, what God has for you is for you, and that's true. But don't you think for one second that the enemy is going to just let you have it without a fight. And why would you put yourself in the line of spiritual warfare and fire unnecessarily? Haven't you fought enough? Because I know I have. Aren't you tired of fighting the enemy because you gave him access to your life?
Ain't you tired, Miss Haley?
I'm tired, and I've been tired, and I don't have nothing left to give the enemy. And anything he's taken or is trying to take from me, I'm going to fight him for it because God said it's mine, just like it's yours. Fight for what God has for you. Protect it, cover it under the blood, and play it close to the vest, which is to say, keep your mouth shut. Because a lot of them listening ears are attached to running mouths. And if you want to keep safe the thing that God gave you, if you want the dream that He gave you to come to pass, and you want the plans that He placed inside of you to come to pass, learn to keep quiet until it's happened. And even after it's happened, wait for Holy Spirit to give you clearance to testify about it. It's like old school mamas. We were taught when you have a baby, you don't bring the baby outside too early. You don't bring the baby outside too soon for people to breathe on him and get him sick because his immune system isn't built up yet. It's the same thing with what God has given you. It's the same thing with your assignment, the same thing with the blessings that He is and will bestow upon you. Don't go out here taking your newborn in front of people, letting them breathe on him, speak evil over him, and shut things down before God has fully established it for you. Protect your heart, protect your mind, protect your soul, protect your baby from the world until God says it's clear. And until next time, y'all stay blessed.